in accordance with the governor's order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, JRC 30A and 20, relating to the 2020 novel coronavirus outbreak emergency, the Wednesday, October 21, 2020, public meeting of the Lakeville Historical Commission shall be physically closed to the public to avoid group congestion. However, to view this meeting in progress, please go to facebook.com/LakeCAM. You do not need a Facebook account to view the meeting. This meeting will be recorded and available to the viewing at a later date at http://www.lakecamtv/. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Order of business. Can we have a moment of silence for former Selectman John Powderly? Okay. Can we have the roll call?
Yes, Brian Reynolds,
Present.
Joan Morton,
Present.
Jerry Taylor,
Present.
Nancy LaFave, present. Delia Murphy is our new member that we were going to welcome this evening, and she's had a family tragedy, so she's not with us. Brian?
Okay. Yes, moving on. The secretary's report.
Is there a motion to waive the reading and accept with corrections?
So moved.
I need a second.
I second.
Okay, all in favor? Roll call.
Brian Reynolds,
Present. Aye.
Joan Morton,
Aye.
Jerry Taylor,
Aye.
okay, Nancy LaFave, aye. And Kathleen Barrick,
Oh,
present. Okay,
is Kathleen?
treasurer's report, Brian?
Aye.
Okay. Can I call for the treasurer's report?
The townhouse account has $650 in it. There was an electric bill of $20.71, but because of COVID, it was reimbursed, so we still have $650. We encumbered $3,971.17, which was left from last year, with the intention of paying for the balance of the lift and care ramp, which was $1,621.17. So our remainder is $2,350, which will be going for chimney repair and roof repair. The historical commission account is $500, and we still have $500. The educational scholarship has $3,000 non-expendable dollars, and expendable is $692.97. By the next meeting, I will have the interest from July through November to add to that. I will also find out how much is in the anniversary account so that we know what we're working with, the gift account.
Okay, motion to accept the treasurer's report as read.
So
Take a
moved.
roll call.
I move to accept the treasurer's report as read. We need a second.
I second.
Okay.
Roll call. Brian Reynolds,
Aye.
Joan Morton,
Aye.
Jerry Taylor,
I vote on this too. Yes, aye.
Nancy LaFave, aye. Motion passes.
Okay, moving on, correspondence.
Okay, the only correspondence we've had is we've had some emails to meet with the selectmen, which we did Monday night, to talk about the Veterans Day and the 175th anniversary. That's all.
Okay. Do you want to talk anything about what we said at the selectmen's meeting or what was said, or
I have it down
that
under
appropriate?
number 5 and number 6 are on the
Okay.
agenda.
Okay. Okay, moving along, historic townhouse update.
There's early voting there right now.
Looked very nice inside.
Looks great, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I've been working upstairs and with the help of Mary Franzalia, we have organized all the annual reports, all the street listings, the school committee meetings, the warrants, whatever was there is now in order. And I swept it up and organized all the decorations and the flags and everything, so it should be easier to find things. And also, since I took the inventory and I had the inventory of the historical museum, I would like permission to present to the museum. I think it's about 5 annual reports that we have multiple copies of and they don't have a copy. And then I'm going to ask them if they will do the same for us.
We did that as a motion at the last meeting where we to have the museum check and see if they're missing any years where we have additional copies.
Yes,
So the idea that we would give
now
them
I need permission for us to give them books too.
Okay, I move that Jerry approach the Lakeville Historical Society and make a presentation of the 5 annual reports that they are missing.
And I will contact the Historical Society and find out where the Historical Society stands on the part that needs to be donated to the commission.
Okay, so we need a second on my motion.
I second.
Okay.
Call vote.
Vote.
Brian Reynolds,
Aye.
Joe Morton,
Aye.
Jerry Taylor,
Aye.
Nancy LaFave, aye. Motion passes.
Motion passes. Moving on. Veterans Day. November
Wednesday.
11th, 2020.
It's a Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yes.
Last night at this, Monday night at the selectmen's meeting, the selectmen were more than willing for us to have an outdoor event. And I guess that's it. So with the
Have we set a
decision-
time?
well, we usually have it at 10:30. We gather it at Assawamsett School, the William Hitchcock Stone, and we do a series of wreath person. We do a wreath there, then we walk down the street to the historic townhouse and the honor roll and the flagpole and do 3 wreaths there. Then we walk across the street to Dickren Duran and do 1 wreath there. And at sometime around 11, the church bells ring at the Lakeville United Church of Christ. So it's on the 11th month of the 11th day of the 11th hour. The idea might be to make this a different type of of event just for this year because of the COVID issue. And so one of the possibilities is not to have it. A possibility is for us to do something and maybe tape it and have LakeCAM show it. The other thing would be to have just one ceremony, perhaps at Duran Square, where the area is really broad spread, and have it there because that's the World War I monument. And this was as a result of World War I that this all came about. So unless somebody has some other ideas we can talk about, we need to discuss that tonight.
I mean, I
Well,
think it's
we
a good
also-
idea to just have it at one place.
Yes.
There's
Instead
less,
of
less
doing the three.
contact. I mean, we don't know
Yeah,
how
I
many
think-
people will show up. I mean, it has, obviously has to be socially distanced. Everybody will have to wear masks.
The thing is that with
Right.
Duran Square, it's the World War I memorial, so it's very fitting to have it there. Also, it's a large, wide space. There's lots of parking behind in the churchyard and at the townhouse. So people can actually spread out and feel less contained. And I would think that we would not be serving refreshments or anything like that like we normally
No, I
do.
don't think, yeah, I don't think we can.
So, does anybody have?
Okay,
any other ideas?
Any more input? Do we have scouts coming?
We don't have anyone coming because we did not have a decision at our last meeting. We decided to check with the select and make sure that we could do something or not do something.
Okay, so somebody make a motion to do the Veterans Day ceremony.
Joan, do you want to do it? Make a motion?
I make a motion that we have a different Veterans Day ceremony this year at Duran Square
At 10:30?
at 10:30 on November 11th, a Wednesday.
Okay, somebody second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Brian Reynolds,
Aye.
Joan Morton,
Aye.
Jerry Taylor,
Aye.
Nancy LaFave, aye. Okay, the motion passes. What I will do is I'll start the whole thing that I do with the publicity for Veterans Day and make sure that it's appropriate, and then we'll let the selectmen know in case anyone there would like to speak. Also, Wilfred, the veterans agent, let everybody know. And usually our local representative and the fire department and the police department knowing that, okay? So you'll
Okay.
be getting an email from me with all the material.
That'd be fine. Moving on, the 150th Anniversary Committee.
How about the 175th?
Sorry, I'm old.
That was 2003.
175th.
We have fond memories of that one.
Yes, yes.
Okay, at the selectmen's meeting on Monday night that we attended, they were interested in the next anniversary, even though it is 2028. And they appointed the current members of the Historical Commission to the beginning of the anniversary committee. And the reason we asked them to do that was because when we were doing in 2003, we had started a few years before that to get ready for 2003. And we started having area walking tours and then poll to raise money, would make a booklet together about the different places. So we did Pierce Avenue was the first one. And then we did the Dartmouth Path. We had a trolley to take people around. And then we did Old Main Street. We did the horse-drawn carriage, took people around. So we did different things. We also did for the rest of Main Street, we did a self-guided walking tour was in our booklet. So, and we did Salute to Those Who Serve, which was a thing about veterans in Lakeville. And there was music, and Eunice Kelly and a lot of other people, Ray Delano, were all involved in that, and they're no longer with us. But we did a lot of things to build up to the actual event. So the fact that they've appointed us, we're not sure exactly what the term is. I'm going to look up my old 150th anniversary card that I have to see if I think it was open-ended, but I'm not sure. They may not be
I think
allowed to do that.
I think say Tracy said the other night that we're pre-appointed every year on July 31st.
I think the rules have changed a little bit since in 25 years, over 25 years. So one of the things we can do after the first of the year is actually have a meeting, which is just the 175th anniversary committee, to talk about some of the things that we liked about the 2003 and some other ideas that people might have of things to do it a little differently. And Kathleen, will put in your name, asking them to appoint you to the committee. It was one of the things, is we told them that some people would come on and come off so that
Yeah.
they might be on appointed for a year, but then not asked to be re-upped.
Felicia said she would like to be on it too when I spoke with her.
Okay. So I'll put those two names forward for them for the next time that they do
Bobby
appointment.
will be on it too.
But
Bobby
Robert,
Barrett. Yep, he's
Robert?
19. Yep.
okay. So that means we have three more. Beginning. It's the
What was the other
beginning.
name?
Delia, or did you
Oh,
say
yeah.
Delia?
No, she said Kathleen, Felicia, Carter, and
Okay,
Bobby Barrack would like.
okay, yeah.
Unless somebody has something else, should we go on, Brian?
No, we go on. Letters of interest serving on the commission.
Right, but the first thing we have to do is we did not have a written letter from Kathleen, so we have to accept. I move that we accept with regrets Kathleen Barrack's letter of resignation from the Lakeville Historical Commission. And it was a very nice letter. Thank you, Kathleen. We've had fun.
Okay.
We don't.
Do we have
Yep.
a second?
We need a second.
Second,
Jerry Taylor. Okay, then I'll do a roll call for the vote. Brian Reynolds,
Aye.
Joan Morton,
I, with great sadness.
Jerry Taylor.
with great sadness.
Oh,
Yeah.
guys.
We're not trying to make you feel bad, Kathleen, but we will miss you as a regular member. And also myself, I vote to accept. So that now leaves us with, I believe, at least one opening. We have never heard from Felicia about whether she never went to be sworn in. So I assume that she was not interested in remaining.
Right, yeah, no, she said that she would join the 175th.
Okay. So we have two candidates who have put their name forward. And we took them in the order that they were received by Tracy by her timestamps. And we have Kathy Moquin Bowley, who was the second letter. And she lives on Vaughan Street in the, well, like, I don't know if it's a Vaughan house or it's a Charlie Bumps was the house that. So they built a house on the Southworth ancestors' land on Vaughan Street. And then the other person was Ryan Bowley, who is also a resident of Lakeville and lives on Vaughan Street. So we have two individuals that seem to be very interested in history. One actually studied history in college, and another one who just has a particular love of history. And those are the type of people we're kind of looking for. So you all have copies of their letter of intent.
Yeah. The thing is, we have to only pick one.
At this point, we can only pick one until we know for sure that Felicia has resigned.
So one permanent one and then the other
No,
one.
no.
could
These
be-
are all, both of these positions are alternate. They're non-voting unless there's there's less than the 5 of us to vote.
I see.
So these are the alternate positions.
What do you need to hear from Felicia? Like an email? Would that be okay?
It has to be a signature. We have to have a right letter with a signature on it for the
Okay.
selectmen. So the letters were received first. Kathy Moquin Bowley's letter came in before Ryan's did. 10th. One was at 8:57 a.m. and the other one was at 10:43 p.m. What is your pleasure?
Okay, somebody make a motion to accept a request to contact, what was the lady's name?
Are you talking about Felicia?
No?
Oh, okay.
Well, what do we
have-
need to do? I
we
thought we
have
were
two.
talking about
Kathy Moquin Bowley,
Bowley,
okay?
Kathy. Because we gotta wait to hear if Felicia is interested in writing.
Right.
I make a motion that we ask Kathy Moquin Bowley if she still has an interest in being an associate member of the Historical Commission.
And if she
And
doesn't,
and if so, we will ask to have her appointed.
and if she doesn't, then we would contact Ryan.
Ryan,
Okay, so that's a motion. Somebody second it.
Second,
Jerry Taylor,
Okay, any discussion? Roll call?
can we ask Ryan, who has a really strong background in history, went to school and everything for history. Could we ask him to be on the 175th?
well, right now we don't know if Ryan is a guy or a girl. Because
Oh,
Ryan can be
That's right. I said that last time.
the individual. Yeah, but right now the motion is to ask Kathy Moquin Bowley.
Yes, I second
So
that.
we're
Okay,
Brian Reynolds,
aye.
Joan Morton,
Aye.
Jerry Taylor,
Aye.
Nancy LaFave, aye. So I will contact Kathy and see if she's interested in being an associate member. And well, I will also get in touch with Felicia and see if I can get her to make a determination.
That'd be nice, yes.
Okay, and then at our November meeting, we would potentially have the ability to request appointment of another person as an associate member.
Right.
Then we'll just have a large group joining the 175th, which is really what we need, which is great.
Yes.
Right, and you know what it is like a lot of people will join like after we start doing walking tours. That's when we'll start to pull a lot of people who care about history, are interested in history, want to participate in something like a town anniversary. And we'll add people, and then other people will just come on board to do one event or participate on one aspect of the anniversary. And a lot of people came in at the very end for the parade and the gala, so that
Right.
we had last time. So if we have those things again, I'm sure we'll pull a number of the same, maybe some of the same people.
And didn't we at a former event have Corey Dowling?
Yeah.
Yes, she's expressed interest too, so we'll be approaching her.
And there was a young man too. I can look it up and see who that was, so we can contact him too. For the next meeting anyway.
Okay,
It would be in last year's notes.
I don't really know the name right offhand. Was it the lawyer, Dan?
No, I don't think so.
Well, once we start doing some publicity,
look.
Yeah.
we'll start getting in touch with us, so.
Okay, that seems reasonable. Do we have any other business?
Something to look forward to for 2021. It'll only be 7 years.
Well, yeah.
It'll go by fast. It goes by so fast.
Okay. Moving on to demolitions and gifts.
I have no demolitions to report, and at this point, no gifts to report.
Do we have any other business?
No, the only thing we need to do is set, we planned on meeting the third Wednesday of November.
I have a couple of things.
You do?
I do, yeah. Did we, I'm sure you did the minutes, and I was just a little late. I want someone to do one correction. You might have done that,
Okay.
that we visited Canton and not Easton.
Canton.
It was the Paul Revere Historic Site. Did you talk about that, the visit on Saturday?
No,
No, we didn't talk about it. They
Okay.
just said that it was great.
It was so good.
I'm sorry I
It was
missed it.
You-
really good.
Kathleen or Jerry, do you remember we were standing in front of a barn, and the barn it wasn't a historic renovation. It was another name for the renovation of the barn building. Anybody remember the term?
Was
There
it
were two
Community Preservation Act?
No, there were
one?
two ways to get something on the historical register. One was true preservation, and there was another term. And Brian, I was trying to remember that. I can ask what that other term was. Because
Yeah,
I
it'd be
thought
good to
that was
know.
new to us.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't
I'll,
think.
I'll get that other term.
yes.
The other, I thought it was really good, so inspiring that this group, they do things in a very strategic way. They've had people on the planning board, the Library Association, the Historic Society, Historic Commission, the Finance Committee. They've had people all work together on preservation. And it's just so fascinating the way that they were able to pull together the whole funding of their project and kind of the long-term plans. I thought the renovation of that 1701 house was just amazing. What do you think of that, Brian or
It
Jerry?
was wonderful. It was
Yeah.
the David Tilton House,
Yes, David Tilden.
and it was a
House.
wonderful thing to see, yes.
That was so good. It was really, really good. I sent a thank you email to SEP, and I thought I would write up a letter that maybe we could sign. And is it okay to put it on town stationery, the letter? Yeah,
It would seem appropriate. We have the
It's gonna come
historical
from the
commission.
commission. It should be
Yeah.
on Town Station.
okay, okay. So I'll draft something and get it to you to sign.
Does anybody remember the name of the ironworks that was upstream?
No,
No.
we didn't take notes. We were lucky.
I
we
know,
did.
but I made notes afterwards, and I couldn't remember some of the things.
So it was upstream from the Paul Revere house, that one, or the Tilden house?
The Paul Revere site.
Okay, I'll find out. I'll ask them that too. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be nice to know.
The other,
Lakeville does have some ironworks sites.
and they mentioned a lot about the Reynolds family too, Brian.
Yes, they did. You know, they're undoubtedly, family of mine.
Yeah, yep. Next year, the two buildings on the Paul Revere site will be open, the mill and the barn. And the mill will have the restaurant in it. So I'd love to go back there at some time when that's open and
Yeah.
just sit there for a meal.
And then they're going to
Yes.
have like a museum up above on the second
Yes.
floor. An educational museum.
Exactly.
What amazed me was the grants that they were able to get
Yes.
to do all this. The money that they were able to get through the state.
Exactly.
I think he even mentioned federal money too.
Yeah.
So we need to learn how to do that, and
We
they
do.
offer to help us, so.
Yeah. You know what would be really good is they probably have a class on grant writing at Mass Historical. I would love to go to that, just to find out how you can find out about these grants.
Right.
Because he said it's not that hard to do.
Christopher Skelly's newsletter that I forward to all of you usually has, if there's anything, preservation grants listed in that.
Really? So we'd have to have a specific, like, projects identified where we would need money.
Most of the time, there's also, many times, you have to have matching funds. So if you want $20,000 to do a project, you have to have 10 to start with.
I
So
see.
that's the appropriation issue that we've run
Yeah,
amok with many times.
yeah,
The last grant that we applied for was with the Cultural Council, and we had money to put into that, which was the money for the roof that is going to be done this fall. And that helped with, but the problem was it was for tourism. It came out of a tourism area, and Lakeville doesn't have a strong tourism foundation here,
yeah.
as it compared to like Fall River, New Bedford, Plymouth, places like that.
Yep.
So we didn't receive
We
it.
have a museum.
I know we do. It's a great little museum.
Yep. The other piece of really good conversation was about the library, the Carnegie Library in Lakeville. And George Comeau just felt that there should be no reason why we can't put that on or get it registered with the Historical Commission. Yeah.
We have to get before they'll consider any National Historic Reservation, National Historic Reservation, preservation.
That's a hard word,
I can't even say
preservation.
it now. But
I know.
well, before we could have another National Register property, our inventory has to be comprehensive, and they haven't gotten back to us about that. And they had a problem with the pointing of the historic library.
Oh, we asked him about that, and he said that shouldn't be a reason.
Shouldn't be, but that's what Mary Fuller was told many years ago, that it was a
Well, maybe
problem.
it's changed. We should
Yeah.
try.
And that building is not, it was 1900s as opposed to being 18 or 1700 when they were not using
Yeah,
the
we
type of
asked
cement
him
they use
that.
now. So I mean,
Yeah, he said it's old enough that we should be able to.
but we can't do a register application until we do the other thing. And the town has given us money to do the comprehensive part. But maybe in
Well,
2021,
we need to check
everybody
it
will
all
be
out
getting
again.
back to people about information.
It needs to be considered.
Well, we talked about a historic district for that whole area too, so.
We know that a lot of things need to be done.
They also have someone that they hire to do the reporting and completion of the documents for the register. Would that be something we'd be interested in talking to that person?
Well, I think that when last time we had Mr.
Prim.
Mr. Krim,
Prim, who did the work about a number of properties in Lakeville, like Old Crooked Lane and stuff like that. And that we also did the scenic ways at the same time. And he wrote the whole projects on that. There were all the paperwork, all the application forms and everything. So the idea is that when we have someone do the comprehensive part for us, they will be doing the writing and everything. They'll be paid to do all of that.
Do we know who to hire?
No,
No.
that we were trying to get a list from Mass Historical and they've never gotten back to us about it. So,
Do you want me to ask Canton who they would recommend?
well, if they supposedly, someone's that I talked to said that she wasn't aware that there was actually a list, and we knew that Mr. Krim's name came off of a list the last time that we did that.
Yeah.
So it just could have been the person covering the telephone, you don't really know who something is. But if you can, anything we can find out ahead of time, that would be great, because
Okay.
if they have
I'll ask
somebody
them.
that they use to do a project like this, then
Yeah,
and they were happy with them. That's part of the
they
issue
were,
right there.
yeah. What is the correct way to term this? A person who does what? Researches, is there a title for this type of work? Or,
You did the survey.
Well, it's an application form to be on whether it's the National Register, the State Register,
okay,
or a local historic district.
okay. Okay,
It has to be someone who's familiar with the application process, but also knows how to do the research and write up the forms.
okay.
And
Right.
for this has a certain level of photography, the quality of the photography, Joan, correct me if I'm wrong, it's silver? Black and
Yes.
white silver?
Well, things get updated, so, maybe digital work is what they now accept.
Yeah,
Maybe. But see,
Yeah,
it has to be archival quality. That's the whole thing why they were going with the
Oh, yes.
silver.
The man up there at Canton told us, definitely everything has to be archival. And he also mentioned that there might be money available for archaeological digs out of all this.
that's right. That's right. Yeah. You may know him, Nancy. He was on the State Library Commission for a number of years, and he said he thinks he was down here in Lakeville when the library opened.
Probably.
George Camo was his name. He's a lawyer, I think, as a profession. Smart guy. All three of them were very, very impressive.
Great.
I would certainly agree with all that.
Yeah, really good day.
Okay, any other business?
I have the, so salute to those who serve. I didn't know, Joan, if the veterans agent, Will, was able to share veteran names with us for the book.
I don't think he can.
Okay,
But I have a list of quite a few names to put into different sections of the book, some who were from Lakeville and some who just live in Lakeville. I have a list that we need to add.
okay.
And also, I was reading Michael Madigan's book about veterans of World War I, and he actually made a statement in it that Lakeville didn't do a good job with the Spanish-American War people. So I have a list of Spanish-American War people to add that I got from his book. He actually says Lakeville did salute to those who served and they ignored the Spanish-American War. So you and I already wrote an area, a little section about the Spanish-American War. So I'll get those names and we can put it in that new section that we wrote.
That sounds good. And at some point, I'll print out, I think when I have the names updated as best we can, I'll print out everything we have, and we may need to move a few things around because I'm not sure where to start the new stories.
I think we do. I think we need to move a few things around, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
You're going to keep it in chronological order, right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Jerry, you did a great job getting the letter from the selectmen, but that was probably 2 years ago. Do you think we should get another one?
Yes.
Oh, yes, because we have new selectmen now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll talk.
I can scan to you the letter that you did get, so you know the what it says. Tracy probably still has it, but I think it would be good to get a current one.
Okay. Okay. I also found on one of the annual reports, the front cover was a list of veterans, and I think it was in 1914.
Oh, good.
So I don't know whether, is that the beginning of World War I? And those were people from Lakeville who was in the service from Lakeville.
Good.
So I'll try to get that to you too.
That would be great.
Okay, that sounds good.
And in reviewing some of the names, I found that some of the women who were listed as serving as veterans were actually cadet nurses. And I think they need to get their own shout out because they were actually a very very important part of the war effort.
Well,
Do
those
they,
the
do they
ways.
serve overseas? Or were they,
A lot of them did serve overseas. Yes,
so they should
most of
really
them
have
served in
their,
the United States.
they should really have almost their own article.
They
Yeah,
should. So I think we need to do an article for cadet nurses. I'll do that.
okay.
They were Army cadet nurses,
Yes, they were.
what I remember.
Most of them were. Yes.
So I
And-
have supplies in my house, meaning I have paper to copy for covers. I have quite a lot. So I was wondering if I should put those in the townhouse.
Upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah.
Joan wants to take them under her wing, because she's working on the project too.
I'll take them under my wing.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'll gather what I have.
Okay.
And you got my letter from Mrs. Harris about her
Yeah.
being a little girl and seeing her father off.
Yeah, I have a folder of things to edit the book. Yeah.
And I will send you the photo of her and her dad.
Okay. That sounds good.
She's in her 80s
Oh.
now.
Are we going to have a photograph of Dicker and Darren in the new booklet?
We hope so. We have the PDF of him. Remember?
Yes, but I don't know if it can be printed.
We can take a picture of it. Do you know where
And
it
then print
is?
it out.
Do you know who has that picture now?
No?
It was an email that came from Tracy that she received an email from the nephew or great nephew.
Good. Nice. Good. If you want to forward that to me, I'll insert it in there.
Well, if somebody has it. Maybe it's Tracy. There's something to work on.
I think that I sent it out to everybody when we received it.
I think we do all have it
Yeah,
somewhere.
Was
so-
that
but it would be a
recently
couple
or a
years
while
ago
ago?
now.
Oh,
We'll look it up, and Kathleen, I'll see about getting a photo for you.
that sounds good.
The other thing is that the museum has the World War I group picture of many of the servicemen from World War I. And we wanted to know, now that we have a picture of Dicker and Duran, if we can actually find him in that group picture.
Ah, nice.
So Brian, that's something.
I
we
don't
would-
know. I thought the picture was taken when they came back.
Oh, so it's post the war instead of at the beginning of the war? Okay.
Well, it'd be very hard to get everybody together because they probably all joined on different
Different
dates
times?
in different branches. I don't know. I think it was after, but we can check out.
It probably is dated at the bottom or something like that. So if it has the date on it, then we can tell.
Yeah. Do we have anything else?
Our next meeting
Next meeting?
is Wednesday, November
18?
18th.
Okay.
The other thing
Any
is-
other business?
We need to, just on one thing is about getting things ready for Veterans Day. I'll send you all the material. And we can talk about what time we're gonna actually get to Dicker and Duran. Where? Okay, usually
Are
we're
there
there
gonna
half
be
an hour
Any
beforehand,
selectmen there?
and whether or not, yes, as soon as I get the publicity out and see if anybody contacts us or contacts the selectman's office. Okay,
Okay. Yep.
and I'll do that this week because it's coming up fast too.
Okay.
Just one-
Motion to
one note-
adjourn?
Well, one note
Go
on
ahead.
salute to those who serve. I think we mentioned at one time, putting an article in there on the donation of the old flags that Charles Evers does.
Yes,
I don't know if that would be in the Staples Shore story or something. I don't know.
okay, which is
I
one
I
thing
think
that I
that's
need
where
to
it would
get to.
be.
But just to mention that he has donated some flags.
Okay. Good idea.
Every year.
Every year he does that? That's
year.
amazing.
Okay, any other business? Motion to adjourn?
So moved. We need a-
Second?
Second,
We need a roll
Okay.
call.
Roll call?
Brian Reynolds,
A.
Joan Morton,
Aye.
Jerry Taylor,
aye.
Nancy LaFave, aye. We are adjourned.
We are
night.
adjourned.
Okay.
Good night, everyone.